Hello, everyone. Good evening. And in today's training, we are going to be taking the introduction to automation testing. And I'm just going to go through a couple of things today. So since we're just going to be doing the introduction tonight, we would look into what automation testing is all about and the advantages and challenges. Then we'll look into the IDE and the softwares or the tools we're going to be downloading as well. We'll do that tonight also. And I'm going to answer questions and answers at the end. And I usually always recommend people to pay attention during the class. And then when the video comes out, you can then try out the steps again. And the reason why I say that is so you obviously focus on the class, you take note of things that you need to take note of, and then you obviously could probably have questions along the way. Then you ask me those questions at the end. You can put them in the chat box as well, and I will pick them up, or you can just raise up your hand at the end of the class and then ask your question. And I think I remembered one other thing. And then we're gonna be having a class tomorrow, but it's gonna be for like an hour or an hour 30 minutes ish. And that's just going to be like a drop-in session for anyone that needs assistance with what we're going to be doing today. So in terms of the um practical side we'll do today, I'm hoping the video gets published maybe later tonight or tomorrow morning so that you obviously try your hands on what we're going to try out today. And then if you've got like any questions or you need assistance or you don't know what to do, then you obviously come to the drop-in session, then we look into them together. And I always encourage people to people that have obviously done like the practical side by themselves. I always encourage them to always speak up during the drop-in sessions or to raise up the hand to offer to help people, because you obviously and when you do that, you're obviously learning as well and improving your own knowledge and skills around automation testing. So that's just another thing I'm going to say. So diving straight into today's lecture, we're going to be looking into introduction to automation testing and a bit of introduction about myself. My name is Onyi Odukudu, and I'm a software development engineer in test automation with over 6 years experience. And outside of so a little bit about myself. My name is Onyi Odukudu, and I'm a software development engineer in test automation. And outside of my day-to-day job, I'm a Java programming trainer, a software QA consultant, and a mentor as well. And just a little bit of background also. I was one of the interns at Blue Sky Citadel when it started in 2017. And Blue Sky Citadel is really doing a lot of stuff for people. People join the trainings and then they obviously get jobs straight as well, just like I did. So I just wanted to put that out there. And moving on to my next slide. So what we're going to be looking at today, we'll be looking at what automation testing is about, the importance, types of automation testing, challenges, and also common automation testing tools and frameworks also. So we're going to be looking into those ones. And diving straight in, what do we know by automation testing? I know you've been learning manual testing for a while, but what is automation testing? So automation testing is basically the use of automation frameworks, tools, and programming languages to perform tests on software applications with the goal of reducing manual testing efforts and also reducing the time spent doing manual testing as well, and also for delivering a much more robust and efficient result in terms of your quality assurance that you're doing on what you're testing. So the manual testings that you've been doing for a while, automation testing sort of supersedes it and is a lot more better as well. It reduces manual effort, reduces the time that you spend. And then another benefit, okay, we're already talking about the benefits, but another benefit of automation testing is that it improves like the test coverage as well. So there are some manual testing that you may be performing that could probably be like a lot more complex, or it takes a lot of time to execute. It could take like 2-3 days based on like maybe you need to sync some data, or you need to wait for a specific service to finish up running or something like that. So this is where automation testing comes into place. You can obviously leave your automation testing to be like running the test, and you can be doing other things as well. So that's basically what automation testing is all about. So I've already sort of started speaking about the benefit of automation testing. So we're going to look into that now. So a few of the benefits of automation testing. First off, I have faster test execution. So like I mentioned initially, basically reduces manual effort, or reduces manual testers' effort when it comes to executing tests. And so it could be a case, or it's obviously going to be a case of the test would be run automatically when the code changes are applied, and then the testers are then notified of any issues or any defect or bugs that have been discovered, or any test failures that the test execution has encountered. Another benefit of automation testing is reusable test scripts. And what I can say in terms of reusable test script is, in automation testing, the same script can be used for like multiple different test scenarios that you write. And then it also facilitates the processing of testing, and then the script can obviously be stored and reused later on whenever you need to use it as well, as far as you obviously make the necessary modifications to the test based on the test scenarios that you currently have. And another benefit that we have is improved test coverage. And so it's test automation basically saves time, like I mentioned, and it reduces, or it takes the load off manual testers. And it also has a potential to improve software quality by expanding the range and the thoroughness of the test you're trying to look into. And it also enables the execution of lengthy tests that are technically avoided in manual testing. So just like I mentioned previously, so if they're like complex tests that you're looking into manually, automation tests can help you reduce the time you spend on them, basically. And then the final benefit that I have here, there are a lot more benefits, but these are just like the main major ones. So another benefit I have here is early detection of bugs. So in a case whereby you've got to do regression testing for like over 3 days, and then that's going to be taking like a manual effort to do, like being manual testers. Your automation test, if you kick off the test today and the test runs, there's a higher chance that you'll be able to will I say the word catch, you'll be able to like detect potential defect that could go into like the live environment. You detect them on time, get them fixed, run the test again. But in the case of manual testers, if the tester has not even gotten to that test step or to the test scenario to test, he or she's not going to know there's a defect there, and then time would have been wasted, and then your regression period then gets longer, and then also increases like your release period as well. So those are just some of the major benefits. Or I can just mention a couple of other benefits off the top of my head. Cost saving reduces regression time. I mean, there's also time saving as well. Return on investment is high in terms of using automation testing. So we're going to be looking into the different types of automation testing. And this is just to mention a few. We've got regression testing, functional testing, integration, load, GUI, and mobile testing. And obviously for mobile testing is basically testing mobile apps on different devices, on different operating systems. It could be the iOS, the Android, and then different devices, Samsung, Google Pixel, all the different types of different devices that are available. You could carry out mobile testing on them. And we have the GUI as well that validates graphical user interface, load that tests applications performance under heavy load. And then this is where penetration testing sort of comes into place. And then we have regression testing that so this is the testing that you carry out when new code changes have been introduced into your automation framework, and you're basically running the test again to make sure that those new changes are not breaking the existing functionality. Then we have the functional testing that validates the functional aspect of the application. We have integration, and this is when you're testing the different components that interact with each other. We have unit testing that tests individual components. So integration tests different components, unit testing just tests individual components. So those are the major types, or some of the types of automation testing that we have out there. Then we have the common automation testing tools. We have Appium, we have Selenium, we have Cucumber and SpecFlow, we have the JUnit, TestNG, TypeScript, JavaScript, and all of those ones. And you can obviously see what they are obviously used for as well. Appium is for mobile application testing, Selenium is for web application testing. And then we also have the different types of automation testing framework. And the popular ones, we've got the Selenium, we've got the Appium, we've got the Java framework, C#, Python, JavaScript, TypeScript, and there are different types of frameworks available out there. We've even got the one that says the Ruby framework as well. So, but for this automation cohort, we're going to be looking into Java automation testing. There's a C# automation testing as well. There's a Python automation testing. So it is always good to have a little bit of knowledge on. So when I say we are looking into the Java automation testing, so that technically means that you need to obviously know the basics or have an understanding of Java programming language, because we're going to be using that within our code for automation. The same also goes for all the different frameworks as well. For C# framework, you need to know C# basics. For Python, you need to know Python basics. For Cypress framework, you need to know JavaScript, you need to know TypeScript, because those are the programming languages that are compatible with Cypress. And for Ruby framework, you need to know Ruby as well. So for the Java automation framework for this cohort, we are going to be looking into introduction to Java. I think it happens on the weekends, and I'm going to be taking the session as well. And I think information is going to go out about that later on. So we're going to be looking into the Java automation framework, like I've mentioned. And then for the different, just like I mentioned previously, different automation testing tools that we have, we've got Appium, C#, Python framework. We've got so those are like the major frameworks. All the other ones are either IDEs or the languages that are being used. An example of an IDE is the Visual Studio that we have here. An example of another IDE, no other IDE, just this one. And then for the programming languages, we have JavaScript, Python, Java, C#, and the rest. So yeah. And then when we are looking at the challenges of automation testing, so what challenges would you usually encounter? So we have initial setup time. So if it's your first time, you've just gotten into a new job, it could be a case of two things. It could be a case of they already have an existing framework, and you're just going to clone it and then start working on it immediately. And then obviously learning what the framework is about, how they do their folder structures and everything. Or it could be a case of they don't have any framework at all. They don't use automation at all. You could be the first automation tester and they have employed you to build up their automation framework. So in that case, that's where it could be a bit time consuming, because you would have to figure out the right framework to use, the right programming language. Obviously, you use the programming language that you obviously understand or know more of, and the framework as well. That's what you use in that case. So deciding the type of framework to use on the programming language, you may need to sort of understand what sort of services or system they currently have in place. And you may struggle a bit with a bit of like downloading stuff, because there are some companies that have got like security restrictions. You will not be able to download just anything on their company laptop. You need to go through HR or security to like get requests or anything like that. So those sort of things could be a bit time consuming. They'll be asking you questions and all the other things. And then another challenge that I sort of have here is I said communication and collaboration. Because automation testing cannot function without collaboration. You require a lot of communication amongst all the stakeholders, and the stakeholders in this case could be either from the tech side or the business side. You need to speak to the developers, the business analysts, the architectural designers, the UX UI designers, the manual testers as well. They are also important. You obviously need to like interact with them. You obviously need to like, some automation testers could have to meet with the client or the end users as well, just to get feedback from them or to sort of understand what they need to be tested or what they even want their system to look like, so you know what you're actually going to be testing. So collaboration and communication is very, very important. And that could be a bit of challenge as well if people are not like collaborating, or there's no team, what do they call it? There's no is it teamwork? Yeah, like people don't work as a team or something like that. So that could be challenging sometimes. And then another challenge that I have here is finding the right skills. So obviously finding the right skills, just like automation testing cannot work without the right tools. The right tools cannot be operated without people that have got knowledge of those tools as well. So you need the right skills to carry out automation testing. And it is very, 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 very important, because if you are the only automation tester, you need to know what you're doing. You need to be able to back up while you're using specific tools or specific frameworks or specific methods within the automation framework that you're currently building. So the right skill is very important. The right tool is important at all time. And moving on from this slide, I'm going to be looking into the other slide I currently have, and that is installing Java and installing IntelliJ IDE. And what do I mean by IDE? IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment, and the environment or the application that we're going to be using to run our test is called IntelliJ. And I'm going to show you how we install that one. And we're going to be using Java. We're going to be writing our code in Java, so you need the Java software as well. So we're going to be downloading the Java software, we'll be downloading the IntelliJ IDE as well. We're also going to be downloading another software package that we need, and it's called Maven. So I'm going to look into that one also tonight. And I'm just going to ask briefly, and I'm going to look in the chat. I'm guessing most people are using Windows. I don't know if anybody's using a Mac device. So if you're using a Mac device, please put in the chat. If you're using Windows, I don't know if you can raise up your hand so I can see those that have got Windows, those are using Mac. So I know the ratio of people I'm going to be dealing with. Yeah, if you're using Windows, can you raise up your hand, please? So I know. If you're using Mac, you can just put in the chat. So I've only got 2 hands raised, 3 for Windows. Okay. So just 4 people use Windows and other people are using Mac. Is that what it means?
No, it's showing more than one.
I don't know. I think right. So for installing the Java software and IntelliJ software, so the installations that we're going to be doing, we're going to be installing Java 17 or Java 21. And then we're going to be installing Maven. So that was the other software I mentioned that we would need. And then we're going to be installing IntelliJ IDE as well. We'll do all those 3 installations. I'll show you how it's done today. I'll send you the links after the class, and then can obviously try them out when you get the videos. And then when we have the IntelliJ IDE installed, we are going to be installing these 2 plugins, Gherkin plugin and Cucumber plugin, and this would be done in your IntelliJ, and you only need to do it once. Once you've done it once, you don't need to do it again unless you install the IntelliJ app. When you reinstall it, you need to reinstall these 2 plugins back. So moving on to how to install Java on Mac. And I believe that some of the commands I'm going to be saying, you can obviously use them in Windows as well, unless I say otherwise. So for Mac Java installation, there's always a high chance that either your laptop comes with Java software or it doesn't. So before we install Java on any of our laptops, on our Windows or our Mac devices, we would have to check our command prompt or your terminal if Java is installed. So you just need to open up your command prompt if you're using Windows. If you're using a Mac, you open up your terminal and you type this command in: Java space dash version without the semicolons, and then the J is lowercase j. So if nothing pops up, once you type that in, you press enter. If nothing pops up on your screen once you've done that, then it means that you don't have Java installed at all. Then you need to install Java. But if something pops up and you have maybe a Java 1.8, most people have got Java 1.8 or Java version 8, then you need to install an updated version. But if nothing pops up when you do Java space dash version, then you need to install Java. If something pops up and it's Java 8 or 1.8, then you need to install a new version. But if it's a Java 17, you're fine. You don't need to do anything. Or if it's a Java 21, then you're fine as well. But if it's another different version of Java, as far as it's above version 8, you're totally fine. But I usually recommend that you have either 17 or 21 version. So once you do that, and assuming nothing pops up on your screen, you would have to download Java. And I would be sending the links I have in my slides after the class. So basically navigate to this link I'm going to be sending to you. Then usually on these download links, there's always the Linux version, there's the Windows version, there's the Mac version. So you obviously pick the one that suits your operating system. And if you're using the Mac, for instance, you need to pick the Mac OS installer. That's one I'll probably recommend to you. So anyone that says Mac OS installer, you pick that one. I'm going to open the link as well so that you see, you obviously, when you open the link, I'll open the link so that I'll navigate on the page, show you some of the things, but I'm not going to download anything because I've got them all downloaded. But I'm just going to show you so you know what to point to or click on when you're also checking the link as well. So if you're using a Mac, you click on the Mac OS installer. So this one here that says bean.dmg, that's the one you click on. And once you click on that, there are 2 things that could happen. You could either be asked to create an Oracle account, or it could just download by itself. So if you're asked to create an Oracle account, you basically just need to create the account, fill in all your necessary details. Then you would see a save icon that pops up that tells you to save file to allow download. And then once it's been saved on your system, you open up the downloaded file to install it. Then I think all you need to do is to click continue, install. Then it may ask you for your password. Put your password in. The password is usually like your laptop password I used to access your laptop. Then you click on install software. And after installing, you just click on close. So that's what you need to do for Mac devices. Then if you've got a Windows, you still go to the same link, but you download the 64 installer, which is the bean.exe. So that's the one you should download if you're using a Windows. And it could ask you to create an account as well, just like it did for the Mac people. And then once you've filled in your details, you've accepted the license agreement, then you obviously click on. So this is the save thing that I'm saying that is going to pop up on your screen. So you click on save, then basically saves on your system in the downloaded folder. And once you open the downloaded folder up, you potentially see this screen pop up. Then you need to click on next. But before you click on next, you can see I've highlighted this particular place on this image where it says C drive, program files, Java, then JDK. So you need to note down this file path. So it's either you copy it out or you type it out somewhere, or you send it to yourself as an email, because we're going to be needing it later on. So you need to note down this file path before you click on next, because we are going to need the file path to set your environment variables. So once you've noted down this file path, you click on next, installation goes on, then you click on close. And then once that has been done, we need to set up our environment variables. So in Windows, if you're using a Windows device, you need to set up your environment variables. If you're using a Mac, you really don't need to do that, but I'm going to show you what you need to do on Mac and what you need to do on Windows. Right, so for Windows guys, once you've installed your Java, the file path that you noted down, you need to open up your, I think it's called File Explorer. You need to open up your File Explorer, then navigate to that C drive, program files, Java, then the version of Java that you've installed. So it could be JDK 17 or JDK 21. So once you've navigated there, you need to click on the bin folder. You can see I've highlighted what you need to do in the first image that I have here. So once you're inside the bin folder, you need to copy that file path. So just click on that thing. It's going to highlight everything in blue, then just copy it. So once you've copied that, you go to your control panel on your laptop system. I think you need to click on that window icon on the bottom left corner of the screen. Then you type control panel. Then it brings up your control panel. Then once it brings up your control panel, you click on advanced system settings. And once you've clicked on advanced system settings, you need to click on environment variables. After environment variables, you would see this next screen pop up. So it's got two different sections. You don't have to do anything in the first section, but where we're going to be making changes will be in the second section that says system variables. So we go to the system variables part, click on edit. Well, you can see that I highlighted this particular path here, or this particular line. So you need to click on that line that says path, only path, click on the line and click on edit. So once you click on edit, it's going to give you this screen. Then you need to click on new. Then you see the path that you copied from your File Explorer. You need to paste it at the bottom. So you can see it goes to C drive, program files, Java, the JDK version that you have, then the bin. So you need to paste the path that you've copied from your File Explorer, paste it in here. And once you've pasted it, you click on OK. And in most cases, you would have to restart your system to update the environment variables path that you've made changes to. But for Windows, for Mac people, it's a bit different. You really don't have to restart. But for Windows, in most cases that I've seen, you always have to restart your system so that the changes you made is reinforced. That's basically what you're doing. And then I'm going to take us a step back to the Mac guys. So once you've installed Java, you need to do, once you've installed Java on your system, you need to open up your terminal. Then you open up your bash profile. So for tomorrow's workshop, I can I'm going to, first of all, expect everybody to try their hands on installing Java and installing IntelliJ. But if you are struggling, you come into the session, I will do one for the Mac guys. I'll do one for the Windows guys. Then I'm going to open the floor for anybody else to share their screen. Then everybody else is going to help the person while I just watch and correct and make my own comment, basically. So for the Mac guys, you need to open up your terminal. Then you need to open up your bash profile. So your bash profile in this case is sort of like the environment variables that we've done for the Windows. But you don't have to be opening up all the different windows and everything like that. You just need to open up your terminal. Then once you have opened up your terminal, you need to open up your bash profile using this command. Open this sign, the /bash_profile. So once that has been opened up, you would see an image like this, the second image down here. But if you enter the command and then nothing happens or nothing pops up on your screen, then that means you don't have a bash profile and you need to create a bash profile. And the way you create a bash profile is instead of using open, you use nano. So nano, the sign /bash_profile is going to create a new bash profile for you. And another thing I'm going to take note of here is the way that we've imputed a file path for our Java in the Windows is different from the way we do it for Mac. So for Mac, we would usually say export java_home equals, then you paste your file path that you've copied for your Java. I'm going to show you how it's done for Mac. But for Windows, I'll probably do that one tomorrow. But for Mac, I will do that tonight to show you guys what you need to do. So you basically, to add your environment variables, you say export java_home, which is the variable name, and then you assign a value to it, and the value you're assigning is the Java path that you're assigning to it. And then once that has been done, you save the file, you close it, and then once you close it, so instead of restarting your system, all you need to do is, instead of open, you just say source. So instead of open, you type in source, the symbol /bash_profile. And once you press enter, that basically reinforces the changes and you don't have to restart your system whatsoever. I'm going to show you that one as well. And I think that's just all done for the Java installation for now. So moving on to, let me see. Before I move on, let me actually open up the Java installation link. Oh, I think I have it opened up somewhere. I have it opened up. Java. Yeah, okay. Right, so you should be able to see my other screen now. Can everyone see the other screen? Like the other window that I moved in?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Just trying to expand this one. That's just a bit difficult to expand, but I'm going to send the link for the Java installation. So when I give you the link, it's going to take you directly to this page. So we have JDK 21, JDK 17. So I would recommend that you download 21, but you can download 17 as well. I have 17, and that's what I've been using also. So if you're going for 21, like I mentioned, it's got the Linux, it's got the Mac, it's got the Windows. For the Windows, you go for the 64-bit installer. So the second option, I'm going to specify that in the message I'm going to be sending at the end of the class today. you download the 64-bit installer. For Mac guys, you download the 64-bit DMG installer. That's what you need to download. And then you basically follow the instructions I've given you as well. So if you click on this link, there's a high chance that it will ask you to create an account, or it might not. So you just need to click on the link to find out. And as usual, if you have any questions for tonight, I would answer it after the class. But I'm going to say the other part later on before I start the next section. So for the Mac guys, download DMG installer. For Windows, download Bit64 installer, and follow the steps when you're watching the videos. And once you're done, you do the environment variables for Windows, you open up your bash profile for Mac, you put your Java path file inside of it, and then you're good to go. You need to restart for Windows. For Mac, you don't have to restart. So that's just basically what you need to do. So before I move on to IntelliJ installation, I was going to say that if you've got any queries or any concerns, put them in the QA Guild group chat. So that's what the group chat is for. But I think one of the admins posted there as well that you need to go through proper order of flow to report your issue. So obviously speak to your mentors in your group or your buddies. If they can't resolve it, bring it into the QA Guild group chat. Then I will then step in. But if I'm not able to help, I'm going to speak to other mentors, or I can bring in Lady Pat or Mr. Deji as well to help us look into the issue. So if you've got like any installation issues, speak to your colleagues. You don't know whether they've done it. If they've done it, that's good. You can ask them for help, or you can speak to your mentors. And you can also come into the drop-in session tomorrow as well. So there are different resources available. So you don't have to be quiet. You don't have to feel shy or anything at all. Just speak up, and we'll get help from wherever we can get help from. Right, so moving on to IntelliJ IDE installation. I'm going to be sending the link as well. You click on the link, it takes you to the home page. The first link will take you to this home page. The second link will take you to a different page for the older versions of IntelliJ. But I want all of us to download the latest version. I'm going to have to re-download my own version as well. And once you've clicked on any of the links, it takes you to, once you click on the second link, it's going to take you to this page. And we're going to download the version 2023. I don't think 2024 is out yet. So we'll download version 2023. And people usually make a mistake. We're not downloading the ultimate. We need to download the community edition. Ultimate is free for 30 days, and you have to pay for the rest. But the community is free. You don't have to pay for anything, and it does what is meant to do. I use the community at work, and everybody else within my workspace uses the community edition as well. So that's what we're going to be installing for this training. And as usual, if you're using a Mac, I would recommend that you download the DMG, the second to the last one. And if you're using a Windows, download the EXE version. So that's just what you need to do. I'm going to specify that when I'm sending out the links as well, so you know the ones to go for. So once you've clicked on it, it installs instantly, and it could take 5 to 10 minutes depending on your operating system. Sometimes it could take less than 5 minutes. Then that's very good as well. So once it's fully downloaded, you open up the downloaded file in your folder. It could tell you to transfer it to the application folder, or it could tell you to create a shortcut, any one of them. You can accept that. And once you open up the app, if you're using a Mac, it's going to prompt you, it's going to come up with this prompt that is downloaded from the internet. You want to open it, please click on open. But if you're not using a Mac, I don't think you're going to get that, but you should get this page next. And it's basically asking you to select the theme that you want. Do you want the light theme or the dark theme? Or you can just click skip remaining and set default, or you can just click on next. It's basically when you're clicking on next, it's giving you more information about the IDE. So if you are curious about it, which you should, you can read all the informations there. And once you've clicked on next or finish, then this is going to be the last page that you should see. And we are going to be looking into creating a new project next week. But by this weekend, between today or maybe from tomorrow, between tomorrow and our next class, I'm expecting everybody to have all the IDEs, the softwares all set up. And then by the next class that we're going to be having, I want everybody to be on the same page. I don't want anyone to be left behind. If you feel like you don't understand anything, please speak up. We are here to help. We wouldn't know you're experiencing issues if you don't speak up. If you're quiet, we wouldn't know at all. So, and you should be the one chasing all your mentors, your buddies, or anybody like that, because you're yet to learn. And they've got a lot of like knowledge and resources to put into you as well. So please speak up, don't be shy. And no question is a stupid question as well. So just ask as many questions as you can and speak up. I'm going to keep emphasizing the speak up, because I've seen people not speak up and then they just feel like they were left behind. But we didn't know you were having issues because you didn't speak up. We asked questions, you didn't answer, and we can't force you to speak up. So you just basically need to speak up if you're encountering any issues. So once you see this page, you know that your installation is complete, and then we're going to continue from there in the next class. And the final thing, okay, before I move on to the final thing we're going to be installing today, I'm going to show you what the IntelliJ page is like. So if you're clicking on the first link, it's going to take you straight here. But I want us to click on the older version. So we're going to be clicking on the second link. So I'm going to send the second link into the chat, and it's going to take us here. So for Windows, like I mentioned, download the EXE one, 64-bit. For Mac, download the DMG one for Mac. And we're going to be going for version 2023.3.4. So the very first one that you see on the page is what you need to download based on your operating system. And reiterating again, we want the community version, not the ultimate edition. Community edition, please. I know someone is going to make the mistake, so that's I'm going to keep saying it. We need the community edition, not the ultimate edition. Thank you. So moving on to our very last slide for tonight, we're going to be looking into Maven installation. And right. I'm going to be looking into Maven installation, and Maven is simply an external package that we are installing into our system to enable us to run our Java framework that we're going to be building. And as simple as it is, all you need to do is to go on to the link that I'm going to be sharing and download the latest version as well. And the latest version is 3.9.6. And it's basically giving you, so I think system requirement is what we have here. It says it requires Java 18 and above. So we are going to be having the latest version of JDK on our system. The operating system, no minimum requirement, memory, no minimum requirement, and all the other shebang. So you can obviously, if you want to know what Maven is, click on the link to browse through the page, the documentation, read up knowledge. No knowledge is lost. And then once you're done, you can then download it. So for this one, it doesn't say which one is Windows, which one is Mac, or anything like that. But if you're, hold on a minute. Everyone should download the binary.zip, Windows or Mac. You can download the binary.zip or the src.zip. src.zip here. So you can download the binary.zip or the src.zip, or go for the binary.zip first of all. So this does not have like a operating system preference. So any version, any one that you install is going to work on any of your operating system. So there is that one. So once you've actually installed this one, you need to, if you're using the Windows, you need to add it to that, your environment variables, just like we did for the Java. So going back there again and looking at the steps that we've done for the environment variables, once the Maven has been installed on your system, you would get the path. And once you've copied the path, you open up your control panel, click on Advanced System Settings, just like you've done. Then you click on Environment Variables. And once you've clicked on Environment Variables, you need to come to the System Variables section, not the one above it. The System Variables section, then you click on Path, then you click on Edit. And then once you've clicked on Edit, you need to click on New. And once you've clicked on New, there's going to be a new space underneath the Java one, and you basically paste the path that you've copied on there. Then you click OK, then you need to restart your system again, unfortunately. You need to restart your system again, unfortunately. That's what you need to do for Windows. And for Mac, guys, we need to open up our Bash profile again. Once you open up your Bash profile, you can obviously see here that I've added my own Maven. Once you open up your Bash profile, you need to declare your Maven path, just like you've done for your Java. So for Maven, you say export m2_om equals, then your Maven path. That's what I've just pasted on the second line here. And once you're done with that, you click on save. Then you need to type the source bash profile command again, so that it reinforces that change, and then you don't need to restart your laptop if you're using a Mac. And then once everyone is done with the Java installation and then the Mac installation, what you can then do to sort of be very sure that your Java OM and your Maven OM has been specified in your environment variables or your Bash profile is to call those variables. And in order to do that, you just need to say echo Java_OM. But I think it's only the Mac guys that will be able to do this. I need to look at the Windows part, but I think the Mac guys should be able to do this in your terminal. So once you say echo $Java_OM, so the Java_OM is what we specified in our Bash profile. So once you've done echo $Java_OM in your terminal, you should be able to get the value that you've assigned to your Java_OM. It should pop up on the screen for you. And another thing you can do, once you've done your Java and your Maven installation, everyone should be able to do this. You know that at the very start, we did Java --version. Everybody else should now be able to do it because you've installed your Java, you've set the environment variables. And once you do that, you should see your Java version come up, and it should be either 17 or 21 based on what you've installed. And if you don't see anything pop up, it's coming up blank, or you're saying the command is not recognized, then you know that you've not done something right. But if you've done something right, you should get something like this, the highlighted part that I have here. You should get something like this. And the same also goes for your Maven. You need to type mvn /version, small m. You need to type mvn /version, and then your Maven version should also pop up on your command prompt or your terminal. If it doesn't pop up, then it means that something isn't right. If it pops up, then it means that you've obviously done the installation correctly. Yeah. So those are like the major things that we need to do for the basics of automation testing. And now I'm just gonna, I don't know, people may not really have a lot of questions until you try them out. So I'm gonna open up the floors to questions now. And you can all ask away. You can raise up your hands, type in the chat box.